So good morning, everyone. My name is Angelika von Landen from Liechtenstein, and I'm very happy to give some insights what is happening in Liechtenstein and in Switzerland as well. We are together as a team today. As you probably know, we have strong connections between Liechtenstein and Switzerland. For example, the educational system is quite the same. We are sharing our experience, and so I'm happy that I'm delighted to announce René Schnieber. He will do a presentation about the evidence base for policymaking. It's a little bit a different approach from what we've heard yesterday. There was more the learner's voice and the practice we can share. And today we are looking more to the scientific role and look what is really the evidence base on guidance and career counseling. And so I'm delighted to have René Schnieber. He is a researcher in the University for Teacher Education in the University of Liechtenstein, of Zurich. The University of Zurich, they support us in our actual project as experts. And they are doing also the evaluation of our actual project. We implementing the voucher system in Liechtenstein, and so I'm very happy to have him here as my presentation, to do our presentation for Liechtenstein and Switzerland.
Good morning, everybody. Now I'm working since 5 years at the University of Teacher Education in Zurich as a lecturer. Before, I worked for 12 years as a guidance counselor for a federal service. This time as a counselor, I met maybe 3,000 people, above all adults, and I heard the equal amount of biographies and stories. What I've learned of that is, first, that I'm much more relaxed in dealing with my daughter, because she's not that good in school. And the other thing is that not every problem you have at work or at school or in life can be solved by an educational measure. Yesterday, because the things I heard yesterday, I want to say it here. For me, education is more a mean than a religion. So I have a little bit a more critical view of this thing. If I look to Europe, it's obvious. Everybody says career guidance is important. You see, Europe makes a strong link between lifelong learning and career guidance. The Germans, quoting here, is saying that there's a prerequisite of lifelong learning also. Even in Switzerland, we say that is an increasing systemic relevance of career guidance, and that it is worth to invest in this area due of the digitalization. So now afterwards, I'm not Europe, I'm Switzerland. I went to the jungle of documents of the European Union. It was a long travel, I have to say. And it was not easy to find the right document. I say now, this one here is one of the most quoted, which try to define what it is, this career guidance. And when you look at it, you see it's a complex term with various activities. Depending on your point of view, you can see there in political, social, psychological, or also economic objectives. And you can make a choice. Even when you go to literature, and you try to find there a definitely, exactly answer what it is, it's not that easy. You can say the changes in the economy urge the science to reconstruct this term. So at the end I have to say, there's no common sense, no common understanding of that, not in literature, not in the science, and not in practice. One of the questions that the literature mentioned is for whom this career guidance is working. Said in other words, is career guidance for the economy or for the individuals? This is not mentioned anywhere from where it is. So make your choice. Make your choice. Are all objectives important? Some? Which one? Do you have to make priorities? Have to set priorities? Or do you have to differentiate what your offer is? It's another way to make it. So at least the International Labour Organization offers kind of a definition that you can live in, I think. They do it like this, and they say career information is one of the important things. You heard yesterday much about that. Then it is career education, means all that what works in the education institutions. Then career counseling, what is coming afterwards, reflecting interests, aims, plans, and so on, making decisions. Employment counseling, now it becomes near to the economy. Job placement, with these different things. At the end, a word it's often quoted is the career management skills. All the skills you need to cope with all these changes in the economic world, and so you have to adapt yourself to these changes. So you have to adapt to the economy, not other side. Other aspect. There is a strong scientific evidence of certain things about career guidance. And I say now, not everybody uses this. Some examples here. We know many about the forms of interventions. We know that structured workshops works much more than non-structured workshops. Who use this? Or it's not the question only structured or non-structured, it's the question for whom we do that. So you can make tailor-made offers for different target groups. Then, for example, is it more worth to invest in online than in personal career guidance? If you look at the effect, it is more worth to invest in personal, if you want to believe in science, and not in online. It's not the meaning that online is nothing, but not all the times for everybody. You know something about the length of interventions. It could be too long, but you can make it very good and the high effects short. Or by, for example, counseling techniques. We know much about that. We have a lot of know-how about that. Why don't you use that? So, if you want to believe this, it implies that your offer has to concern this. So, you have to coordinate your offer, maybe on national level, I don't know, regional level. Then you have to enlarge your offer also. You have to integrate IT systems, you have to differentiate also your stuff and your methods and so on. And this one is recommended by Hansen from the yellow, which you can also steer your offer with this economical argument here. So, next point of view, reality check I call it. That's when you're coming from top down, or if you make sidewalk to the sides. But now we look at the point of view of the citizens, of the affected, the victims of the education. Then first, this one here, because you find it differentiated, you find it in Germany. You know maybe this adult education survey made here in 2016. And he says, I translated here, that from 1991 to 2016, the need of information and advice decreased more than a half. Is it the lack of offer, or is it the accessibility, or is it not necessary? So you see here also my first hypothesis, who says the importance attributed by career guidance policy is not reflected in the perception of the population. Next one. For sure, this is not representative. I'm sure if I looking longer, and maybe I think I find also arguments for the contrary. But now first this. Source of information. Where do the people go to find information about education, about career guidance? It's not the professionals. Here, Berufsberater, career guidance, guidance counselor. It's more the training. It's more here, people who make that, learner's voice. Or what else? Family, and so on. Only 5% goes to the institutional offer to find an answer for that. Next hypothesis here is career guidance knows many partners. This must be taken into account when setting up these services. Next one, more or less the same message. Not people now are places where the people go. And you see, it's again that picture, only 13% go to an institution, not to a person, to an institution which is offering the services. The rest goes somewhere else, to the trainers again, and so on. So more or less also the same hypothesis. Career guidance knows many places. The effect of institutional offers is overestimated. We asked in Switzerland the course leader in 2014, I think, 2014, with what do you spend your time? The course leaders. And they said, of my time I spent 20% with career counseling. But I didn't know that. You have to first ask them. Many of the career counselor, this activity of career counseling is for some people an implicit task. They don't know that. So, how do you can assure your offer that it's complementary to that and that the quality of this career guidance is good enough? And it's for sure not free of interest. So, this I found in Europe. Pictures like this I found very many in Europe, I have to say. And also here's a jungle to find the right one. For today, this one is good enough, I think. they compared different countries, and they asked, it was a Eurobarometer from 2014 also, have you ever used a career guidance service, was the question here. You see the different answers of different countries first. Then you see that only in the middle, only 24%, 1 of 4, of the respondents said that he used a career service center. The others not. And then you see the red part here. Most said they don't use it because they haven't the access to it. And the orange ones, they said other reasons. They don't need it, they don't use it for other reasons, whatever. Not accessibility. So the accessibility is one of the most important reasons not to use career guidance services. Then 61%, you remember the definition first, everybody's talking about lifelong. Lifelong means starting and ending becomes near. It's not a break after 20 and the rest is without education. And here you see 61% of all the people who used it during education, not afterwards. Then next quote here is the same thing more or less, says that the possibility to go to a service for adults after education is quite different and on a lower level. So my hypothesis here is, as long as you don't know what the demand is, you can't steer your offer. We forget that. Now a short view to Switzerland. It was interesting because first this, in Switzerland, first you look here maybe, we have 26, we call it canton regions, you can say. Like in Germany, you are 20. You're only 16, okay. You're a lucky man. 26, and it's more or less the same, it seems to me, from outside view. It seems to be the same thing like in Europe. You have 28 countries, and you have a national, kind of a national law. And we have our careers guidance service. It's in the law, in the national law in Switzerland. In the national law is also that the training of the consultants is fixed there. You can't work for a federal service without this formation. The formation is on the level of a master degree. We have a little bit other understanding because it's a national offer. It's free of interest. It's free of interest. Very important point. It's for free for everybody, and we see it not only as an economical problem. The half of the people who's working in these services are psychologists and not economists. So then the law is not that it's wide. It gives possibility to make you are largely free to do what you want in these different regions, and that's for us. After now, we have this now more than 100 years, this institution. And now we say also, okay, everybody has it, we use it, but we need a national coordinated offer, which is concerning all these results of the science we have for the different target groups. That's we are saying. So not it's, you can maybe take this consequence only to have in it in a law. It's not the solution. So we're on the way now for that in Switzerland. A short view to our numbers, facts. You can't read it maybe good, but I can read it for you. Most people who is coming for us, the biggest thing there is during the first formation, 16, 15, 16. In Switzerland we have this dual, how do you call it in English? Dual Bildung. But you know what I mean? It's like in Germany, it's very important. That's also the reason, because this quote here is that high. People are coming afterwards. Adults makes more or less a third of all the people who's coming to us. Then you see about information. It's interesting, at least this one here. The other one are more or less stable. It's the search for information in the internet. That gives rise to all what I saw yesterday of this online offer of searching for information. We have the problem with these platforms that they are so other systems. They are that complicated. There are so much ways and exceptions and specialities that the use is only for experts. They need now a counselor to use the other ways. It's a little strange. We wanted to facilitate it and it comes out all the way. Then you see, and this gives not right to the first one, to the first things I said about the development of the sessions in our country. You see, it's more or less stable. 120,000, more or less, in the last 10 years, stable. Not moving up, not moving down. It's not that the changing economy evokes a demand in career services. It's not like that. It's not like that. So, if we in Switzerland, when you read this, you find 80% of the definition also in Europe. We saw first. The difference maybe could be here that maintaining the employability, it's something we underline. It's not only changing, it's also maintaining. It's also maintaining. The meaningful employment biography, it's a more individual view of things. We say what you do, you can do it also only good if you see there in it also a meaning. You find that in the most psychological literature, that you have to be like that, and you find it in your own practice, I think. So, if I put together all these hypotheses and make out of them a question, you know what you have to do in the next half hour, I think. First thing is the importance attributed by career guidance policy is not reflected. We read that already in the perception of the population. And the question is now, do you have a communication problem? Don't they know that you have an offer? Or don't you have really an offer? Second one, counseling, as saw, happens in many places and with many partners and is specific to each of the milieus. How do you ensure the quality and the complementary of your offer? So you can say everybody gets what he wants, what he needs. Then, that's what I'm saying, only a national coordination ensures an effective offer for all target groups. But there are many good examples. So you see what I found before I come here, not yesterday's, I heard, maybe the list become longer, what I'm thinking when I'm what I found when I'm looking to Europe. These national programs, they are very good ones, I saw, at least on the paper, must be taken in concern. And they also innovate concepts. You see them mentioned there, what I found. And at the end, that's my personal now hypothesis, I say, the increasing systemic relevance. So when you say all this more changes comes and the only way to cope with them is to have a career guidance, when you think this, I think it leads to exaggerated expectations to career guidance. It's not a solution for everything. So, like the education measures are not the solution for every problem you have in work, life, or school problems. So, that's it.